You know, when you drive past a big construction site, you see the obvious stuff, right? Cranes, steel beams, workers, and hard hats. But what you don't see is this invisible system working all around them. It's not just some boring rule book. Nope. It's a carefully designed shield, and it's there to protect every single person on that site. So let's pull back the curtain and see how this hidden system actually works. But first, to really get why this system is so important, I've got a question for you. Have you ever wondered what really leads up to a major disaster? Is it just bad luck? Well, it turns out there's a predictable pattern, a kind of hidden ratio that safety experts have known about for almost 100 years. And here it is. This is called Heinrich's Law. Just look at this pyramid. It shows us that for every one major injury, the kind of thing that makes the news, there were 29 minor injuries and a whopping 300 near misses. 300 close calls where luckily no one got hurt. So here's the big takeaway. You don't stop that one major accident by focusing on major accidents. You stop it by focusing on those 300 near misses. You solve the big problems by sweating the small stuff. To really wrap our heads around this, we need to know what we're up against. We've got to look at the anatomy of an accident itself. Okay, first things first, let's be super clear on our terms. An accident isn't just some random thing that happens. It has a specific definition. An unexpected and unwanted event that causes real harm or damage. The keywords there, unexpected and unwanted. And that's exactly what these safety systems are designed to fight. Now, when that kind of accident happens on the job, the law often calls it an industrial disaster. It's a really broad term that covers pretty much any injury, illness, or even death that's directly linked to the work environment. The buildings, the tools, the materials, you name it. So what's causing these things? You'd probably guess it's, faulty equipment or dangerous conditions. But the data on this slide tells a story that might actually shock you. A full 88% of accidents are tied to unsafe human actions. Only 12% come from unsafe physical conditions. Think about that for a second. That's a huge insight. It tells us that managing safety is overwhelmingly about managing people. Okay, so if human action is the biggest piece of the puzzle, how in the world do you manage it? Well, society's answer is to build a framework, a legal shield to protect its workers. The main law here is the Occupational Safety and Health Act, and you can really break its purpose down into 3 common sense steps. First, you've got to establish the baseline, set clear standards, and spell out exactly who is responsible for what. Second, once you have that foundation, you work to create an environment that's not just physically safe but comfortable too. And finally, the ultimate goal, to always be working to maintain and promote the long-term health and safety of every single worker. And this slide is a fantastic visual for how those goals become a reality. See, it's not just one single law. It's a whole system, and it's structured like a pyramid. At the very top, you have the big, broad act. Then, as you go down, you get more specific decrees and rules. And way down at the bottom, you have super detailed technical guidelines for very specific jobs. This structure is brilliant because it lets the system be both powerful and precise, turning a big idea into a simple, actionable rule. So laws and rules are great, but let's be real. They're just words on paper. Who actually puts all of this into practice out there in the mud and the dust? Well, let's meet the people whose job it is to make safety a reality. On any decent-sized construction project, you're going to find these key roles. You've got a safety and health manager who's responsible for the big picture, the overall strategy on the largest projects. Then, for projects that are still pretty big, you'll have a safety manager who's more focused on the technical, day-to-day stuff. The bottom line is simple. The bigger the budget, the more oversight the law requires. It's all about matching the level of safety management to the scale of the risk. Now, the most powerful tool these managers have isn't a rulebook or a fine. It's knowledge. The absolute first line of defense in any good safety system is training. It's all about building a culture of awareness before anyone even picks up a hammer. And the reason for all this training goes way beyond just checking a box. I mean, of course, the number one goal is to prevent accidents, but it also cuts down on the huge financial losses that come with them. And maybe more importantly, it actually improves a worker's knowledge, skills, and their whole attitude about safety. And here's the kicker. A safe worker is a productive worker. Good safety training actually leads to better quality work faster. And we're not talking about some quick one-time meeting. This system demands constant reinforcement. Just as an example, regular on-site workers need at least 6 hours of safety training every 3 months. Their bosses, the supervisors, need 16 hours a year. And a new person can't even set foot on a construction site without getting at least 4 hours of training right up front.
So you've got the laws, you've got the managers, and you've got the training. But what happens when a near miss is about to turn into an actual accident? That is when you have to rely on your last line of defense, your gear.
We are talking, of course, about personal protective equipment, or PPE. And the definition is about as simple as it gets. It's anything you wear to protect yourself from getting hurt. It is the final physical barrier between your body and danger. But here's the thing. The gear has to match the hazard. It's not a one-size-fits-all deal. Worried about something falling on your head? You need a safety helmet. Working up high? A safety harness is an absolute must. Risk of dropping something on your foot or electric shock? You need proper safety shoes. For every specific risk, there is a specific piece of equipment that's required. Now, this is a really crucial point. When it comes to PPE, responsibility is a two-way street. The law is crystal clear. The employer must provide the right gear for the job. But the employee has an equal responsibility to actually wear the gear they've been given. One side provides the shield, the other has to pick it up and use it. And that brings us right back to where we started. We've seen the whole system, the laws that build the frame, the managers who put it into action, the training that creates awareness, and the gear that acts as the final barrier. But if 88% of accidents come down to human action, it means that this entire complex system ultimately rests on the choices made by individuals, every single minute of every single day. The system provides the shield, but the final line of defense, that's you.